Eating all that red meat's going to kill you. That's what they say. We're going to talk about a couple of these things here in just a moment. Hello everyone, semi-retired Bob here. I talk about the proper human diet, all things related to the proper human diet, and miscellaneous odds and ends. Today is Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. And it's a little on the chilly side out here today. It's nice and bright out, but it's only about 41 degrees. If it gets much colder, I'm going to have to get the next level of coat out here. But yeah, let's talk about this red meat thing. Yeah, before we get into that, let me say welcome to all the new people. Thanks for stopping by. I'm glad you're here. If you're returning to the channel, welcome back. I'm glad you're here as well. It means an awful lot to me that you choose to spend just a few moments of your day with me. Why don't you help me get the word out that it's never too late to change your life? I am 60 years old, and I'm doing things that I couldn't do when I was 40. Like out here walking up and down the street every day. I know that doesn't seem like a lot to many people, but for me this is a big, big deal. But yeah, let's talk about red meat. What's one of the things that we heard as kids over and over and over? We've heard it our whole life. Oh, red meat just gonna sit in your lower bowel and sit there and rot for weeks at a time. It's gonna give you colon cancer, bowel cancer. Pretty much the same thing. All these terrible things it's going to do to you. Well, as we all know, that's absolute fiction. But one of the best examples that I've seen of somebody that would actually know, I was watching, it's been 6-8 months ago now. I was watching a Dr. Berry video, and I wish I could remember her name, but she was a nurse that took care of colostomy patients. Her job was to teach them the proper way to care for their colostomy bag when they got out of the hospital. So, they'd know how to keep things sanitary and all that. Well, he asked her, have you ever found, because for those of you that don't know, whether it's permanent or temporary, when they put a colostomy bag in, it basically comes at the juncture from the small intestine to the large intestine, or very early in the large intestine, so that it bypasses the colon, depending on what condition you have. Depends on where it gets placed. So that when most of the digestion is already done, except for whatever fermenting is going to happen in the colon, it's already happened, and then it gets dumped into the colostomy bag. I know, kind of a crappy topic today, right? Sorry, I couldn't resist. But he asked her, had she ever seen a chunk of meat, an undigested chunk of meat, appear in one of these bags? And remember, she'd been doing this for decades. And her answer was no. I've never seen a chunk of undigested meat show up in one of these bags. And then he said, well, what kinds of things do you see? Well, just the kind of things you see in your stools. How many of us have, it's been summertime and we ate way too much corn because it was corn on the cob. How many of us have seen chunks of corn come out in our poo? other vegetables, kale, green beans, chunks of spinach. Those are the kind of things that rot in your gut, not red meat. So this is one of the things that you can bring up when one of your well-meaning relatives or friends starts talking to you and wants to tell you how bad your proper human diet is compared to what they think you should be eating. And remember, most of these people, they haven't done a lot of the studying that we have done. They haven't even really thought about it. They just watch commercials on TV, listen to their doctors, read the posters that are up on the wall of their doctor's office, that kind of stuff. So they don't have any real idea of what's going on and what a proper human diet consists of. Which is why I always say we discuss these things with our friends and family. We don't argue with them. Just understanding that we know we're right and they're just misinformed. Some of them heavily indoctrinated into that misinformation. So we gotta, kind of take it easy on them because they don't actually know, what's good and what's not. I did want to talk about one other thing today. I saw, because it's that time of year, pumpkin spice this and pumpkin spice that, everything pumpkin spice. I saw a graphic a couple of days ago. And people, they're like, oh, it's pumpkin spice season, so I'm going to have one of those big pumpkin spice caramel coffee drinks from let's just say a popular coffee place. Oh, that wind's kind of cold. And they're going to have that as their treat. They're not going to have it every day, but once a week or so they decide, yeah, I've been doing real well. And it's that time of year, so I'm going to have a pumpkin spice caramel coffee drink. Well, this graphic showed that pumpkin spice caramel coffee drink has the exact same amount of sugar in it as 17 Krispy Kreme glazed donuts. Wow. So let's be careful and realize, it's okay to have the occasional treat from time to time. As Dr. Kilt says, a treat from time to time. And if we're having a little treat from time to time, do I think it's going to kill us? No. Now, I try not to have any of those treats from time to time because I know what sugar does to my body. But if we're going to have a treat like that, let's at least try to keep it keto-ish and not go for the, to be honest with you, knowing how much I liked back in the day Krispy Kreme glazed donuts, especially when the hot light's on, if I'm going to dump that much sugar in my body, I think I'd rather eat 17 Krispy Kreme donuts than have one of those caramel pumpkin spice coffee drink things. Of course, my view is a little skewed because I like my coffee black. Just a couple of thoughts for today. If I don't see you tomorrow because you're out doing stuff, I am going to put up a video tomorrow for Thanksgiving. But if I don't see you for a couple of days because of the holidays, have a happy Thanksgiving. Don't forget, get out there, be 1% better. Today, tomorrow, every day. Have a great day, folks. I'll see you in the next one.